bago pa naman natin naranasan ang ganitong kalayaan na ating kinabibilangan, ang ating mga ninuno at ang mga mamayan ng Pilipinas ay nakaranas ng higpit at paghihirap at nakatikim ng mga sakit mula sa mga mananakop. Sa likod ng bawat dugo at pawis na binayad, alang-alang man sa kanilang buhay, sinikapan at hindi inantala ang sariling buhay. Kaya ngayon, ng aking mga kagrupo ay aming ibabahagi ang tungkol sa Kartilya ng Katipunan at the Proclamation of Philippine Independence para magbigay pugay at kadakilaan sa ating mga ninuno na nagbuwis ng buhay para sa ating bansa at na maging malaya.
At bago tayo magsimula, ay nais ko munang ipakilala sa inyong lahat ang ating makakasama ngayon na si Binibining Clerigo. At ngayon ay atin namang titignan ang iba pang sources tungkol sa Kartilya ng Katipunan. At ito ay ibabahagi at itatalakay ni Binibining Clerigo.
Ayon sa pag-aaral ni Geraldine Manuel, 2024, Kartilya ng Katipunan. Key themes and ideas. Key themes of the Kartilya ng Katipunan. The main theme of Kartilya ng Katipunan is forming morally upright, patriotic, and disciplined citizens who are willing to serve and sacrifice for the freedom and welfare of the nation. It teaches that the fight for independence must be guided by virtue, equality, and love for the country, not just by force or rebellion. Ideas of the Kartilya ng Katipunan. First, love of country. The Kartilya teaches that every member should place the nation above personal interest and be ready to sacrifice for the Philippines. This idea helped inspire Filipinos to unite in the struggle for independence. Second, moral character and integrity. Members of the Katipunan were expected to live with honesty, honor, and discipline. A person's words should be trusted, and action should have always be guided by what is right. Third is equality of all people. The Kartilya teaches that all people are equal, regardless of race, wealth, or status. What truly matters is a person's character and dignity. Fourth, brotherhood and unity. The document encourages unity and cooperation among Filipinos. Members of the Katipunan should treat each other as brothers and sisters, working toward a common goal. Fifth, justice and defense of the oppressed. The Kartilya calls on people to protect the weak and fight oppression. It promotes justice and courage in standing against those who seek self-improvement and education. The text also encouraged individuals to develop knowledge, discipline, and wisdom, believing that freedom requires enlightened citizens. Relevance to the Philippines era today. First, patriotism and love for country. Kartilya emphasized devotion to the nation and encouraged individuals to prioritize the welfare of the country over personal interest. In the Philippines today, this principle reminds citizens to contribute to national development, practice responsibly in civic life, and protect the country's interest. Second, equality and respect for others. One teaching states that all people are equal regardless of race, status, or wealth. This idea supports modern democratic values in the Philippines by promoting respect for human rights and equal treatment among Filipinos. Third, moral integrity and ethical leadership. Kartilya stresses honesty, honor, and justice. These values are still important today, especially for leaders and public servants who are expected to act with integrity and accountability for the welfare of the people. Fourth, unity and brotherhood. This document teaches cooperation and solidarity among members. In modern Philippine society, this principle encourages unity among Filipinos despite difference in culture, beliefs, or social status to achieve common nation's goal. Fifth, education and self-improvement. Kartilya also values knowledge and self-development. This is still relevant today because education and critical thinking help individuals become responsible citizens and contribute to the country's progress.
Maraming salamat sa iyong binibining Clerigo.
Walang anuman.
Ngayon ay papakita rin natin ang kaibahan nito at ang mga importanteng detalye tungkol sa Kartilya ng Katipunan na ipapahayag ni Binibining Bukhan.
There are similarities and difference from the sources. The first one is the difference. Source from the teacher. First is highlights the founder with did the KKK create the truth behind the KKK flag. Second is included how the KKK government and membership created. The third is include the 14 rules of laws in Kartilya that needed to follow. The difference from sources from the other source highlights the brief history of how Emilio Jacinto was included in the KKK and to be Andres Bonifacio right hand and utak ng Katipunan. The second is cited how did Emilio Jacinto created the rules of Kartilya but it wasn't breakdown the 14 rules of Kartilya. The third is focuses on how the Katipuneros sacrifices their lives. Now let's talk about the similarities. First is both cited the reasons behind why they created in the KKK. Second is both look out for the Filipinos people's sacrifices and sadness from the hands of colonizer. Third is both delves the topic how the Katipuneros sacrificed their lives for the freedom. And lastly is both cited the background of the Kartilya ng Katipunan.
Go!
The Kartilya ng Katipunan is an important primary historical source that help historians understand the ideas, values, and motivations of the revolutionary movements in the Philippines during the Spanish colonial rule written by Emilio Jacinto for the Revolutionary Society Katipunan. The documents contains rules and moral teachings that guided members of the movements because it was written during the revolutions itself. It provides direct evidence about how Filipinos viewed freedom, leadership, and society. Number 1. Reveals the ideas of revolution. Kartilya outlines moral principles such as equality, honor, courage, and love for others. This teaching shows that the revolution was not only about fighting Spanish rule but also about building a society based in justice and dignity. Through this historical source, historians understand that the Katipunan aimed to create a disciplined and moral, responsible citizen, not just rebels. Provide direct insight into Katipunan organization. As the rating guides for the members, the Kartilya explains the duties, conduct, expected forms from Katipuneros that helps historians understand how the Katipuneros functions as the organized revolutionary movement which shares rules and ethical standards. It is demonstrate that the revolution has structures, ideology, and leadership rather than being is of opportunist uprising. Number 3, shows influence on the Filipino revolutionary thoughts. Historical analyze the Kartilya reveals it contributes to modern interpretations of Filipino identity and political ideas that emerged during the struggles for independence.
Maraming salamat sa iyong binigay na impormasyon.
Walang anuman.
Para sa ating panghuling kabanata na maghatid ng aral at konklusyon sa buhay, kaya naman ito ay babahagi ni Binibining Gandolfos.
So these are the key takeaways from the Kartilya ng Katipunan. Life must serve a noble purpose. The Kartilya teaches that a life without a meaningful goal or a service to our nation is worthless. Individuals are encouraged to dedicate their lives to a higher cause such as freedom, justice, and national welfare. Second is, true goodness comes from sincerity. Good actions should not be motivated by selfish interest or personal gain. True virtue comes from genuine compassion and the desire to help others. And third is equality among all people. Cartilla stresses that all people are equal regardless of race, wealth, education, or social status. This idea challenged the class divisions present during colonial rule. And fourth is honor, integrity, and moral character. Members are expected to live with honesty, dignity, and strong moral principles. A person's true worth is measured by character and not by status or appearance. 5 is defending the oppressed. One of the core teachings is to protect those who are abused and oppose injustice, reflecting the revolutionary goal of fighting colonial oppression. And 6, value of time, discipline, and responsibility. The Cartilla reminds members not to waste time and to practice self-discipline, responsibility, and careful speech. 7, brotherhood and unity. It promotes strong unity among Filipinos, encouraging members to treat each other as brothers and work together toward freedom. So for final reflection, the Cartilla ng Katipunan is more than a historical document. It is a moral guide that shaped the character of Filipino revolutionaries. Its teachings emphasize that achieving freedom requires not only bravery in battle, but also integrity, compassion, discipline, and unity among people. Even today, its principles remain relevant because they remind people to value justice, equality, and love for the country. By practicing this value in everyday life, people can contribute to building a more ethical and responsible society.
Maraming salamat sa iyong binigay na impormasyon, Binibining Gandolfos.
Maraming salamat po.
Walang anuman.
Bago tayo magsisimula, ay nais ko munang ipakilala sa inyo ang ating makakasama ngayon, si Binibining Pugoso. At ngayon ay atin namang titingnan ang iba pang mga sources tungkol sa Proclamation of the Philippine Independence na itatalakay at ibabahagi ni Binibining Pugoso.
The central theme is the proclamation of Philippine independence on June 12, 1898, and how the document explains the Filipino struggle against Spanish colonial rule while establishing a new nation under the leadership of Emilio Aguinaldo. The presentation analyzes the proclamation as a historical document that justified the revolution, narrated colonial abuses, and announced the creation of a Filipino government. Declaration of Independence. The document explains the official declaration that the Philippines was free from Spain, which was proclaimed on June 12, 1898 in Cavite. The proclamation was written and read by Ambrosio Renzares Bautista. It was signed by 98 individuals supporting independence. The marked attempt to establish the first independent Philippine Republic under Emilio Aguinaldo. Establishment of a revolutionary government. The proclamation states that a new nation would be government under the leadership of Emilio Aguinaldo, who headed the revolutionary government. This represented the Filipino attempts to create their own sovereign state. Significance and consequences. The presentation also notes that although independence was declared, it was not recognized by Spain or the United States. Spain later coded to the Philippines to the United States in the 1898 Treaty of Paris, which eventually led to the Philippine-American War. Relevance to the Philippine era today. Reminder of the struggle for freedom. The document explains how Philippine independence was proclaimed on June 12, 1898 in Kawit, Cavite, marking the end of 333 years of Spanish colonization. Relevance today, it reminds of Filipinos of the sacrifices and struggles of earlier generation who fought for freedom and sovereignty. Foundation of Philippine national identity. The proclamation narrates historical events such as Philippines Revolution, Spanish abuses, and the execution of Philippine patriots, which helped unite Filipinos against colonial rule. Relevance today. This event shaped the Filipino identity and nationalism that continued to influence the country's culture, values, and patriotism. Understanding the origins of the Philippine government, the document also described the establishment of a revolutionary government under Emilio Aguinaldo after independence was declared. Relevance today, it helps Filipino understand how the country's political system and early republic began.
Maraming salamat, Binibining Pugoso. Ngunit, hindi pa riyan nagtatapos. At ngayon ay amin namang ipapakita sa inyo ang kaibahan nito na itatalakay naman sa ating ni Binibining Galiano.
So, here are the similarities and differences from the sources. So first, we're gonna talk about the differences. So this source comes from the teacher. So first, discuss into a breakdown about the proclamation of the Philippines independence. So second, is discuss the inside of the proclamation of the Philippines independence. And third is discuss about the truth meaning behind the Philippine flag. And fourth is discuss about the importance of understanding the proclamation of the Philippine independence. And fifth is discuss the punishments and jurisdiction given by the Spaniards. So here are the sources from the other sources. First is the highlights the topic about the proclamation of the Philippine independence. Second is summarizes only the topic. Third is unavailable to cite the inside of the Philippine independence proclamation. And fourth is haven't included the sacrifices and punishments experienced of Filipino people from the colonizers. And here are the similarities. First is they highlight the importance of discussing the proclamation of Philippine independence. Second is they highlight the persons behind the success of claiming the Philippine independence from the Spanish until the America. Third is it highlights how former President Emilio Aguinaldo has been chosen to be the President of the Philippines. So fourth, it highlights the Cavite Mutiny 1872 events about Boom Burza. And next is highlights how historical sources important in today's era. So they provide the why behind the revolution. The document emphasizes that the proclamation was not just a ceremony, but a summary of the abuses and inequalities suffered under the Spanish rule. By reading the original text, we understand that the revolution wasn't just a random act of violence, but a response to 333 years of colonization. It allows us to see the historical overview from the perspective of the Filipinos at the time, covering everything from Magellan's arrival to the collapse of the Pact of Biak na Bato. So fourth is they document foreign influences and geopolitics. Historical sources clarifies the role of external powers. The document mentions the presence of Mr. L.M. Johnson, an American colonel, at the signing. This detail is crucial because it influences our understanding of the hand of the United States in our history. It reminds us that while we were declaring independence from Spain, the U.S. was already deeply involved, eventually leading to the Treaty of Paris where Spain sold the Philippines, a fact that complicates our view of 1998 a total victory. So 5 is dehumanized national symbols. Through this source, we learned that the national symbols we see every day were born from specific lived moments. The flag unfurled at Aguinaldo's ancestral home, made in Hong Kong by Marcela and Lorenza Goncillo and Delfina Herbosa. The anthem played for the first time as Marcha Filipina Magdalo by San Francisco de Malabon Marching Band. Seeing these details in our primary sources transform these symbols from abstract concepts into tangible results of Filipino craftsmanship and artistry. So 6 is they correct and shape our national memory. Finally, the source shows how history is interpreted over time. It mentions President Diosdado Macapagal's 1964 law RA number 4166, which moved Independence Day from July 4 to June 12. This demonstrates that historical sources allow later generating to re-evaluate what date truly represents the Filipino spirit, moving away from a colonial-centric date, the 1946 U.S. grant, to a Filipino-centric one, the 1899 Declaration. Historical sources like this proclamation are the evidences of our past. Without them, our history would just folklore. By analyzing the context, the people involved, and the aftermath like the Philippine-American War, we gain a more honest, complex, and profound understanding of what it means to be a Filipino.
Maraming salamat, Binibini.
Walang anuman po.
At para sa panghuling kabanata na magbibigay sa atin ng aral at konklusyon sa buhay, ito ay ibabahagi sa atin ni Binibining o Benza.
The specific of the event, independence, was proclaimed on June 12, 1898 between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. at the ancestral home of General Emilio Aguinaldo in Cavite. The documentation was prepared, written, and read in Spanish by Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista. Birth of national symbols. The event marked the first official unfurling of the Philippines national flag made in Hong Kong by Marcela Agoncillo, Lorenza Agoncillo, and Delfina Harboza, and the first performance of the national anthem, known as a Marcha Filipina Magdalo, composed by Julian Felipe. The justification for revolution. The 2,000-word proclamation was not just a declaration of freedom, but a historical summary of the 333 years of Spanish colonization, especially citing abuses, inequalities, and the significance of the 1872 Cavite Mutiny. American involvement. A significant detail in the source in the mention of Mr. L.M. Johnson, an American colonel of artillery, who was among the 98 signatories. The highlights the early and complex presence of the U.S. in the Philippine revolutionary affairs, a lack of international recognition. Despite the local proclamation, the document notes that neither Spain nor the U.S. recognized Philippine independence at that time. This led to the 1898 Treaty of Paris, where Spain sold the Philippines to the U.S. for $20 million, eventually sparking the Philippine-American War. Correction of the date. For a long time, independence was celebrated on July 4th, the date the U.S. granted independence in 1946. However, in 1964, President Diosdado Macapagal signed the RA number 4166, officially designating June 12 as the true Independence Day to honor the 1898 proclamation. One thing that struck me in the irony of the proclamation, while the Filipinos were celebrating their hard-earned freedom in Cavite, the superpowers of the world Spain and the U.S. were already by negotiating the country's fate behind closed doors. It shows that 1898 declaration was an act of immense courage and defense, and a dictatorial move by Aguinaldo to assert a sovereignty that the rest of the world wasn't ready to acknowledge yet. Furthermore, it makes me appreciate our national symbols more, knowing that the flag and the anthem were presented at the exact moment of transition. From 300 years of Spanish rule to an uncertain future, gives them a deeper emotional weight. It reminds me that our identity as Filipino wasn't given to us by colonizers in 1946. We already claimed it for ourselves in 1898. Ultimately, the source teaches me that understanding history requires looking at the primary documents because they capture the raw intentions and the atmosphere of the people who actually lived through the struggle.
Maraming salamat sa impormasyong ibinahagi mo sa amin, Binibini.
Walang anuman po.
Sa bawat yugto at bawat pagdiriwang, ating aalahanin at bigyan pugay ang ating mga kapwang Pilipino na nagbuwis ng buhay para sa ating kalayaan na kinabibilangan ngayon. Maging mapagmalaki at bigyan halaga ang bawat kasaysayan na ating kinabibilangan para sa ating bansa at para sa ating mga bayani.